Welcome back to Bravo Breaking News. So we woke up to a major relationship bombshell this morning, as if we haven't already had enough of those this year. And that is that Summer House's Carl Radke and Lindsay Hubbard have called off their engagement. But that is not the only news that is taking the Bravo world by storm today, because we also have some Vanderpump Rules updates that have honestly left me shook. So I'm going to get into it all, but before I do, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any Bravo breaking news. Let's start off by talking about Carl and Lindsay. So we heard from Bravo and Cocktails on Instagram that there was a rumor going around that Carl had called off the engagement just a few days ago. And I didn't know whether to believe this, but as I kept scrolling on Instagram, I kept seeing more and more posts about this. And so that kind of made me think that it might be true. More and more sources started to come out, and then it was finally confirmed by Entertainment Tonight this afternoon. Summer House stars Carl Radke and Lindsay Hubbard call off engagement. The Summer House couple has called off their engagement, and it was all caught on camera. Carl Radke and Lindsay Hubbard have called off their engagement. The two were set to get married in November, but Carl told Lindsay he couldn't move forward with the wedding. The breakup was filmed and will most likely play out on the next season of Summer House, multiple sources tell ET. So I don't know about you, but I was pretty shocked to hear this news. I mean, if you watch them, they seemed like they were very, very much in love. But the more you think about it, the more maybe this relationship was doomed from the start. I have a few theories that may be some possible reasons as to why they called off their engagement. The first is, we all know that Carl is sober. Lindsay was sober for a few months when they first got together, but soon after started drinking again. There were already issues about this last season, with Lindsay wanting to go out and party and Carl really not wanting to live that lifestyle anymore. But seeing as they're in the middle of filming Summer House right now, I have a feeling that maybe Carl just had it up to here. Lindsay likes to drink, she likes to party, as many people do. But with Carl living the sober lifestyle that he does, maybe it was just too much for him to deal with. Summer House is a party show. They are partying nonstop all the time. Honestly, I think it might be hard for Carl to be there to begin with. But for his significant other to also be there, drinking and partying and not quite living the life that he wants to live, I think could have been hard on him. So that is my first theory. My second theory is a little bit juicier, because if you look at the timeline of the engagement, it is starting to look a little suspicious. So as we know, they got engaged on camera last season of Summer House. And it was actually the weekend before the finale, which is usually filmed on Labor Day. Well, guess what last weekend was? The weekend before Labor Day, which is the weekend before they filmed the Summer House finale. And that is allegedly when Carl called off the engagement on camera. I don't know about you, but this is seeming a little calculated. They were both kind of searching for a storyline. They got together, they got engaged, they were planning this giant wedding, which was their whole storyline this season. And now they're breaking it off 2 months before their wedding was supposed to happen. Again, makes us all invested in the storyline and makes us want to keep watching. So could this maybe be a PR stunt, a PR move? I don't know. While they did really seem in love, the timing is just a little suspicious that it's all happening during the season of Summer House. It also makes me think of all of the breakups that we've seen since Sandoval. We've had Kyle and Mauricio, who are allegedly still working on things, Kim and Croy, who, what a mess that is, and now Lindsay and Carl. And it kind of almost seems like these Bravo celebrities feel like they need to stir up a scandal, stir up drama in order to get ratings for their shows. It's starting to seem a little calculated. I don't know about you. Let me know what you guys think about that theory in the comments. So moving on from Carl and Lindsay, there is also some Vanderpump Rules news that kind of has me shaking. So Tom Sandoval and the Most Extras performed last night in LA, and of course, they were filming the show. Now, I was very curious to see who from the cast was going to show up because obviously not a lot of people are on good terms with Tom Sandoval. To no one's surprise, Schwartz was one of the people that showed up, but the other person that showed up to support was James Kennedy. And I don't know. I know that we heard that everybody was mending fences with Sandoval and maybe making up. But for James to go and do this after he was so fired up at last season's reunion about Sandoval, about the relationship with Raquel, and everything in between, it kind of seems like, I don't know, they're not just slowly mending fences. Maybe they're already there. James, it seemed like he did a complete 180. You know, I actually went to See You Next Tuesday a couple weeks ago, and it did not really seem like they were interacting too much. So that didn't take me by surprise. But this definitely takes me by surprise, and I wonder how the other cast members are going to feel about it. Then, we also saw on Instagram stories that the Vanderpump Rules cast is heading to San Francisco for a cast trip. Now, the news here is that Daniel Way, Ariana's new man, is actually joining them. This has been my question all along, whether Daniel was going to end up on the show and film with Ariana. And I think we got confirmation today when Sheena posted a video of them on the plane together with the rest of the cast on their way to San Francisco. Now, who else is on that plane? Tom Sandoval. Yes, that's right. Ariana, her new man, and Tom will all be together on this cast trip, and I cannot wait. Billie Lee, Tom Sandoval's new confidant and partner in crime, posted on stories a picture of her and Sandoval on the plane confirming this. Now, this is going to get very, very interesting because, first of all, we know that Sandoval and most of the cast took a trip to Lake Tahoe earlier this season, minus Katie and Ariana, because Katie and Ariana were not filming with Tom. Ariana refuses to talk to Tom, film any one-on-one scenes with Tom. They're in the same vicinity as each other, but usually do not film together. So the fact that they're going on this trip together is kind of crazy that Ariana even agreed to do this. But maybe her stipulation was bringing Daniel. And honestly, I am here for it. I cannot wait to see Sandoval's reaction and how Sandoval and him interact, if they even do. You know, obviously Ariana and Sandoval are no longer talking and are not going to probably have a one-on-one. But are Sandoval and Daniel going to? I mean, that kind of seems like it might happen on this trip if they are together and if Daniel is making an appearance on the show. Honestly, I hope Daniel rips Sandoval a new one and really shows him what he missed out on and what he let get away with Ariana. This season of Vanderpump Rules just keeps getting crazier and crazier. We know that Raquel's not coming back, but I think that the rest of the cast is really, really going to bring it. And with Daniel now in the mix with Ariana, I think the drama is just going to keep coming, and I am so here for it. So let me know what you guys think of the Carl and Lindsay breaking news. Do you guys think it's a PR stunt? Are you sad about it? Do you think that Carl had a reason to call it off? Let me know what you think in the comments, and let me know what you think about Sandoval and Daniel filming Pump Rules together. This is definitely going to be interesting, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any Bravo breaking news because I will be here to cover it all.